Hey everybody, welcome to the T. Louise Book Series channel. I'm Christina KristianaDeluise, and we're doing Nora Roberts' J.D. Robb Visions in Death. And please take the time to like and subscribe to the channel. It's really, really important. I'm just a person that likes to read books and talk about books. No special tricks, no special anything. And I could appreciate it if you would like my channel, please, and share it. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. It would be helpful. We're growing like a turtle here, really extra small turtle. But anyways, Eve Dallas is a lieutenant in the New York City Police Department, and she is learning how to deal with social situations because she married the richest man in the world. But and also her friendship area is growing too, and she's learning how to deal with all this because she grew up in the foster system, and she had horrible experiences in the foster system. So she's having some really bad nightmares about her childhood, and that will come to play in this book in several different situations. There's a nut guy who's killing women. The summer of 2059 has been long, hot, and bloody, but on one of the city's warmest nights, a call from dispatch sends New York City Police Lieutenant Eve Dallas to Central Park and into a hellish new investigation. The victim was found on the rocks just above the still water of the lake. She wore nothing but a red ribbon tied around her neck. Her hands were posed as if in prayer, but it was the eyes removed that with such precision as if they were carefully hand of a surgeon that Dallas was most alarmed. And there's a psychic also involved in this, and we will get to that in a minute. It has a little twisty, one of the few that has a twisty ending. There's a couple of them that have twisty endings, where you're like, oh, we got this person for XYZ, but there was another person that took advantage of those murders and did one over there. Then this is one of the ones that has one of those. I think we had one of those in the last one. But she'd gotten through the entire evening without killing anyone. See, she hates social situations. She'd rather be in an alley with a bunch of chemi heads than be at a party. Lieutenant Eve Dallas, cop to the bone, figured the restraint showed enormous strength of character. Her day had gone smoothly enough, a morning court appearance that had been as routine as it was tedious, paperwork both extensive and mind-numbing. The single case she caught had involved pals and their dispute over who had dibs on the last of the illegals, a party mix of Buzz, Exotic, and Zoom. They'd been toking on while lazily around on the roof of an apartment building on the west side. So anyway, she gets the call for the death, and she's all dressed up in her fancy duds clothing. It's hysterical. And let's see. I picked out a whole bunch of pages because I just love Eve Dallas so much. It was after 5 a.m. when Eve crept into the bedroom. She stripped off as she crossed to the bed, letting clothes lay where they fell, then crawled naked into bed. She didn't make a sound, had barely shifted the mattress, but Rourke's arm circled her waist and drew her back against him. Didn't mean to wake you up. I'm going to catch a couple hours. Peabody's bunked in her favorite guest room. Turn it off. Then his lips brushed her hair. Just sleep. 2 hours. And she turned it off. Her next not quite coherent thought was, coffee! I need my coffee! She could smell it. The seductive scent climbed into her sleeping brain like a lover up a flower-strewn trellis. Then she blinked her eyes open and saw Rourke. He was inevitably up before her, and as usual was already dressed in one of his master of the world suits. But instead of being in the sitting area of the bedroom, as was his habit, scanning the early stock reports and whatever over his breakfast, he was sitting on the side of the bed, looking at her. What's up? Something happened? We got another? No, relax. He pressed a hand to her shoulder to hold her down when she started to spring up. I'm your wake-up call, complete with coffee. You know, that's why she married Rock, for the coffee. Whenever they kid about divorcing, she's like, I'm taking the coffee. He moved the cup into her line of sight and watched her eyes glaze over with longing. Gimme! He eased back, handed it over, waited while she took her first desperate swallow. You know, darling, if caffeine ever makes it to the illegals list, you're going to have to register as an addict. They try and make coffee an illegal, I'll kill them all. And it won't be an issue. How do I rate coffee in bed? I love you. Yeah, you do. She took another gulp, grinned. Sucker! I love these little. So, we've got this psychic lady. Nope. They have to go by, they're gonna have a dinner party. And Eve just, it's beyond her comprehension. Her, Rourke, Charles Louise, Peabody, and McNabb. And it's just, Eve just doesn't get it. I missed. Oh, here we go. The psychic. There's someone here who wants to speak with you. Pertinent? Well, I don't have time to chat. Eve turned around. We'll check in with Morris at the morgue, then head uptown. I have to be back here to meet with Mira. Yeah, well, she's very insistent. Claims to have information. She looks normal. As opposed to? If someone's come in with information regarding the current investigation, why didn't you say so? Because Peabody debated letting Eve find out for herself or protecting her own skin. In a short debate, she says she's a psychic. Eve stopped dead. Oh, come on, feed her to the liaison. You know better than to let the loonies in. She's registered and licensed. It's a firm policy. No, it's the mutual friend deal. Mavis has all kinds of loony friends. I don't let them into my office. Not Mavis. She claims to be a friend of Louise, Dr. D'Amato, the really normal, upstanding Dr. D. And she shook Dallas. Her hands are trembling. You gotta watch the psychic. I'm not spoiling it for you. But there's a hinty. Because we've got that crazy loony guy. But then we've got a little sob story. And so they gotta go, they do some stuff. And then they gotta go talk to Louise. And Eve has a moment in Dacus. A really bad moment of her childhood. And she lets it go. But where's that page? Sorry, I lost my page. I know what I was looking for though. Um, so they go into Dacus, and she's like, thinking to herself, if she'd known such places existed, would she have fled to one instead of wandering the streets of Dallas? A child broken, traumatized, and lost? No, fear would have kept her from seeking help. So they go see Dr. D'Amato, and she has that moment. And she also meets Moira. Now, you remember Moira is a very important character from a couple of books ago, where Myra was the one that informed Rourke of his real past, not the one he thought of. And so she played a really important part in that. And he's still dealing with that, and Eve is still dealing with that a little bit. So, trying to find. You must be really proud, Peabody said as they got back into the car. Huh? Place like that? She looked back towards Duckus. What Rourke's done here. Yeah, he puts his money where a lot of people can't even bother to put their mouths. As Eve started to pull up, Peabody laid a hand on her arm. What? We're partners now, right? As you never fail to remind me. We're friends. Dubious. Eve tapped her fingers on the wheel. Is this going to get sloppy? People have private stuff. They're entitled. But friends and partners are entitled to unload on friends and partners. You didn't want to go in there. It shouldn't show, Eve thought. It wasn't allowed to show. I went in there. Because you're aces at doing things you don't want to do. Things other people would walk away from. I'm just saying that if something gets over you, you can unload. That's all. And it wouldn't go beyond me. You see me doing anything that interferes with the job? No, some people have personal stuff that can't be cleared up with a nice little heart-to-heart and ice cream sundaes. She whipped away from the curb, cut off a cab, and punched it through a yellow. That's why it's personal. Okay. And if you're going to sulk because I'm not crying on your shoulder, you can suck it up. She swerved down a side street without thought to destination. That's what cops do. They suck it up, do the job, and don't go around looking for somebody to pat their head and say, there. I don't need you to play the understanding Fred so I can dump my guts all over the floor for your perusal. So just shit, OFF. She yanked the wheel, double parked, and ignoring the furious blast of horn, slapped on the on-duty light. Out of line, out of orbit, way out. None of that was called for, none of it. Forget it. I'm tired, she said, staring out the windshield. Beyond protein booster tired. And I'm edgy. I just can't get into all the whys of it. I just can't. It's okay, Dallas. I'm not sulking. I'm not pushing. And she's got to deal with it. We'll get to that later. And Eve does have some more dreams, a couple of bad ones because of the visit to Dacus. They do the dinner party, like I said previously, and Eve is just like, she just can't get her head around the fact that her and Rourke and McNabb and Peabody are socializing with Charles and Louise. She just doesn't get it in her head. We get a couple of funny moments, which we all enjoy. They become a little routine, but we enjoy them tremendously. She eased toward the curb, and the rat trap she was currently stuck with driving vibrated like gelatin in the wake of the speeding wagon. I want you to call requisitions the minute we get back to Central. Bribe, beg, threaten, offer sexual favors of any nature, but get us a decent ride by end of shift. Peabody had her teeth clenched and did her best to speak through them. Who's going to perform the sexual favors? Should it come to that, you, detective, I outrank you. The sacrifices I make for the badge. Health clubs. What? We're going to start checking out health clubs. Then Eve also has her bookly computer issues. We'll skip that for now. And then Peabody comes through and they get a fancy schmancy car. I want to say that in a few moments you're going to be overcome with a powerful urge to kiss me on the lips. I won't think less of you for it. Peabody, why even in your wildest perverted dreams I want no part of, would I ever have the least compunction to kiss you on the lips? Close your eyes. Eve spoke quietly, almost casually. Have you lost your mind? Okay. Peabody pouted a little. You're no fun. She crossed over to Eve's parking slot, spread her arms with a flourish, and said, Voila! What the hell is that? That, Lieutenant, is your replacement vehicle. Pucker up! Eve goggled. It was a rare thing to see the lieutenant goggle, and Peabody celebrated the moment with a snappy little tap dance. Slowly, Eve walked around the sleek navy blue sedan. It shone under the hard garage lights like a dignified level. The tires were big, black, and clean. The glass and chrome sparkled. This is not my vehicle. It is too. This is my vehicle? Aha! Peabody bobbed her head like a puppet on a happy string. Get out! Eve smacked her in the shoulder. How'd you pull this off? A little fast talk, some slight exaggeration, a lot of prevarication, and a little assistance from an Eve fairy who knows how to hack. You got through unethical and possibly illegal means. Damn straight! Oh. And then she's got the new car. Remember, she's got the new car. So she's going home, right? And they've got the gate. They've got the security system. Trying to define it, she turned toward the gates of home, then was forced to stop on the brakes when they remained shut. Summerset, you prick. She lowered the window, barked into the intercom. Open the damn gates, you rat-faced pointy ass. One moment, please. Your voice print is being identified. I'll give you my voice print. I'll give you my voice print all over your... She broke off again, hissing as the gate slid open. Thinks he's got a new trick up his sleeve to bust my chops. Thinks he's going to keep me stewing outside the gates now that he runs his little game. If he had balls, I'll kick them into his throat. She slammed out of the car, jogged up the steps, and burst into the house ready to rumble. If you wish automated entry, Lieutenant, Summerset said before she could spew, you'll need to inform us when you intend to arrive in a strange vehicle. One not yet scanned and cleared for security. Otherwise, as you know, you're required to announce yourself so the system can read and verify your voice identification or access codes. Well, he had her there. I just love this. One more. And then we gotta cut this off. So, one of the little twisty turns that I mentioned previously results in Peabody getting hurt. And that's one twisty turn. There's a couple other twisty turns. So you have to read what happens and what Eve does. And she also has Rourke do a little magic for her too towards the end. But it's really sad to see Peabody hurt, and poor McNabb goes through hell. But he was hurt a couple books ago, and she went through hell. So now she's hurt, and he's gonna go through hell a little bit. But Peabody's our girl. She's the best girl in the world. Love her to death. And You know, after 20 or 30 books, they're real people. They are. So please take your time to like and subscribe the book, and I hope you enjoyed this book. It's a good one. I love the social situations. Oh, I forgot, we got to see Crack in here too. We haven't seen him in a while. He's in here. Oh, and Nadine. We spent a lot of time with Mira. But I love the Peabody and Eve interactions. They're just priceless. And those of you who are coffee drinkers or Coca-Cola drinkers or Pepsi drinkers, you know how addicted to caffeine you are. So just please like and subscribe to the channel. It means so much. And I hope you enjoyed this book. It's really good. My to read pile is astronomical. But please enjoy. Thank you. Don't forget to like the channel, please. CHANNEL. Please. Please. Have a good one.